a 3-year-old boy who lived in a small mountain village walked up into a man and said, "You killed me." People laughed at first, but the boy didn't smile. Instead, he led them to a quiet hill just outside the village and told them to dig. What they found there was something no one expected. Welcome to mistiqlab. Today, we uncover one of the strangest reincarnation cases ever recorded, the story of a child who solved his own murder. Our story begins in the late 1960s in a remote druze community along the Syrian-Lebanese border, a place where traditions run deep. The Druze people are a small religious group who strongly believe that soul eternity and reincarnation are real, and this is sometimes revealed by young children before the age of 5, exactly the age when this boy began speaking. From the moment he learned to talk, he told his parents some unsettling things, details about another home, another life, and another death. He described an argument, a strike to the head, the feeling of falling, and then the darkness that followed. His parents tried to dismiss it, but the memories didn't fade. They sharpened. What frightened them most was the way he spoke about it. He didn't speak as if he were imagining things. He spoke as he were remembering. The child was constantly waking up crying, clutching the side of his neck, whispering, "He hit me here. He hit me again." And under his ear, running toward his throat, was a long birthmark, in the exact place he claimed to have been struck in his previous life. Doctors had no explanation. His parents hoped the stories would disappear, but they didn't. They were only the beginning of what unfolded next. By age 3, the boy began describing another village, a place his family had never visited. He named roads, houses, and people who lived there. No one believed him. Finally, several village elders decided to test him. They invited him on a walk, without saying where they were going. The boy didn't hesitate for a moment. He led the group confidently along the mountain paths he shouldn't have known. When they reached the other village, he stopped in front of a small stone house and said, "This was my home." The owner stepped out to talk to the boy and were not taking his words seriously until the boy spoke a name. It was the name of a man who had mysteriously disappeared years earlier. A man whose body had never been found, and the boy wasn't done yet. A crowd formed quickly. Some watched with curiosity, others with growing fear. The boy remained calm, as if describing something that happened days ago, not in another lifetime. He recalled the missing man's final moments, an argument, a blow to the head, the feeling of falling, and darkness. Then he said he remembered the killer. When he spoke the man's name, villagers exchanged uneasy glances. The accused man was still alive and standing among them. The villagers asked the boy if he remembered where his body had been left. He nodded positively. Then he led them out of the village, through steep mountain paths and rocky fields, until they reached a quiet hill just outside the village, the exact place from the opening of our story. "This is where he buried me," he said. Some hesitated. Others began to dig. Minutes later, their shovels struck loose stones, arranged unnaturally. Beneath them, a human skeleton. When the skull was uncovered, it revealed a long, narrow fracture in the exact location of the boy's birthmark. Silence fell. Some villagers stepped back in fear. Others stared at the child with disbelief. But everyone understood one thing. Only the person who was reincarnated could have known where this body was buried. As the crowd processed what they had found, the boy slowly turned the other side. Among the villagers stood the man he had named earlier, the one who had insisted on joining the group out of curiosity. The child raised his hand and pointed at him. "You killed me." The man's face turned white. He tried to deny it and raised his voice, even said the boy was lying. But the open grave was in front of everyone. The truth was suffocating, surrounded by neighbors, elders, and the chilling accusation of the child. The man broke. He finally confessed. He admitted striking the victim during an argument, then panicking and burying the body where no one would find it. But the story was far from over. In most parts of the world, a confession like this would lead to an arrest, a trial, and prison. But not here. Within the Druze community, many conflicts, even serious ones, are resolved internally. There were no police reports, no court documents, no state investigation. The elders mediated the case according to the tradition. The killer was forced to confess publicly, make restitution to the victim's family, and accept the judgment of the whole community. For many of us, this might seem unfair. Some would even call it lack of justice, but in the druze community, the decision was final and fair. Skeptics tried to explain the case away. Had the parents overheard old rumors? Had the child picked up random gossip? Could it all be coincidence? None of it fit. The disappearance happened before the boy was even born. The grave was unknown to everyone. His family had no connection to the other village, and the birthmark matched the skull fracture with impossible accuracy. The entire story made international headlines in many countries, and the case was even documented in the book Children Who Have Lived Before by the German therapist druze. It has also been referenced in multiple media outlets where it's presented as one of the most intriguing cases of past life memories ever. This case reached different parts of the world, not because the boy told a good story, but because he revealed the information no one else knew and solved a real crime by himself. As the boy grew older, the memories faded, as past life memories often do, but the villagers never forgot what they witnessed, a case where a past life returned and demanded for justice. Thank you for being here and following this story with mistiqlab. If you want more mysteries like this, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. And as always, stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.